Depression is difficult, and it is something that is often experienced by both the caregiver and the care partner. Several years ago, I was trying to learn more about this. I was working on an article about depression and older adults, and so I thought, well, I'm just going to call Aunt Jean. So I called her and I told her that I wanted her input. I wanted her thoughts about depression and older adults, and I offered to take her out for lunch. Well, Jean was always excited to go out for lunch, so we set on the date. I picked her up. We drove to the restaurant, sat down at the table. We ordered our food. And then I took out my pad and my pen and I said, so, Jean, I would like to know your feelings about depression and older adults. And she shrugged and she said, well, I don't know. We don't talk about it. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, let me ask you this. Do you think maybe you have ever been depressed? And she said, me? No, never. And I said, okay, well, do you have any friends or do you think that you've ever known anybody that may have been depressed? And she said, I don't know. We never talked about it. And I thought, you know what? She just wanted a free lunch. She's not going to give me anything of value at all. But I persisted and I said, well, let me ask you this then, Jean. Do you think you have ever known anybody in your entire life who might have been depressed? And she said, well, maybe. She said, when I was a teenager during the war, we lived in Ellenwood, Kansas, and in 1 week there were 3 women who all committed suicide. So I'm guessing they must have been depressed. And I said, good Lord, Jean, 3 women in 1 week committed suicide in a town of less than 300 people? What in the world was going on there? And she said, I don't know. We never talked about it. I couldn't believe it. But then it made sense to me because Jean was a member of the silent generation. And these are the people that were born immediately after the people of the greatest generation. And they were raised during the Great Depression and World War II. So during the Depression, they learned not to complain. And children were to be seen and not heard. And you don't whine, you don't complain. Everybody's poor. Everybody has a hard time. You just suck it up and you do your part and you keep going. And then during the war, Jean went to work for the federal government in Washington, D.C., and she learned that loose lips sink ships. And so whatever she knew or however she felt was something that was to be kept inside. She did not share that information. So had she ever been depressed? Well, maybe. But would she ever tell me about that? Absolutely not. So if you are caring for someone who is older, you need to understand that if they are part of the greatest generation or the silent generation, that they might look at depression as a weakness, or they might look at it as a really bad case of feeling sorry for yourself. And to my dad, being weak was the equivalent of being worthless. So understanding this may help you help older people as they are losing their skills, their abilities, their friends are dying, and as their bodies are also failing. It is hard, but here's what you need to listen for. If they are talking about life just isn't worth living, they wish it would all just end. If you are hearing anything that sounds like threats of suicide, that's when you need to get in touch with a medical professional and get them some help.